Hello, fellow traders. This is TheRumpledOne coming to you on Thursday, March the 3rd, year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading Better, Part 2. Disclaimer, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Let's get right into the charts first off. For the month, we're 83 pips below the monthly open, sitting at 1.3333. 104 off the high, 62 off the low. That's on the pound dollar. When we switch over to the weekly, we're 23 pips above the weekly open. 103 off the high and 63 off the low. The gap is filled, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs where the weekly open gap is not filled. We put in a huge opening range on Monday. On Tuesday, which was the opening range for the month. You can see the opening range for Monday is here. So that Tuesday bar was actually an outside bar. And you can see that we are inside both the weekly and the monthly range at the moment. Opening range, that is. For the year, we're 191 pips below the yearly open. Inside bar, you see we crashed through the inside bar, or we broke out of the inside bar low from 4 days ago here at 33.66. We're now 32 pips below it. I don't think I've taken a poll recently. How many of you are inside bar traders? And are you trading all the inside bars or just certain time frames? I'd be curious to know. For the day, we've got 93 pips on the range on the pound. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs, over 100 pips in range at the moment. The buy zone only gave an opportunity to get a couple of pips on the upside, but on the downside, you had 2 or 3 opportunities to take profit. Green rats, get ready to feast. I want to double check something here. On the rat zone, minimum range was 50. Okay. So we're approaching the top of the hour here. So red rats, just get ready, see if we can get a reversal coming up and out of the rat zone. We're only 4 pips off the low at the moment, daily low. We've taken out today's pivot. I was kicking myself because I was thinking before I went to bed, I was up here, I was thinking I should target the pivot, but I didn't take that trade. So near the pivot, the bias is long. That worked out, maybe once or twice. But we definitely broke through the pivot. Near S1, the bias is long. So we'll have to see how that plays out because we are definitely getting near S1 here. So we haven't taken out the monthly pivot. We haven't taken out the weekly pivot, but we did take out the daily pivot. So we've got some missed pivots so far for the week and month that need to be reckoned with. As far as the wick zone, in and out of the upper wick zone, we are now approaching the lower wick zone at 33.17. On the scalper trades, highest low, lowest high. You can see here, we're going to have to wait for a trade to trigger. There was a little trade triggered here. trade triggered there. So there were some opportunities to go long. There was not really an opportunity to go short here because this broke through after the fact. We've got about 2 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll see how price reacts. Walmart traders, the price action traders here, using the Walmart lines. 40 paid off to the north, 30 paid off to the south this hour. Last hour, 60 paid off to the short side, and 70 barely paid off to the upside. That's why sometimes you just have to be happy taking a pip or two. Because you just don't know what price is going to do. And you can see yesterday price shot up from this area. So this was a return bar, a big, huge bar. We've almost hit the open of that bar. So we'll wait and see what happens. 25 psychological lines in play right now. We are almost hitting the ATR range. And let's see, lots of pairs have made new lows this hour, and we've got a couple of pairs that have made new highs this hour. And this is just showing my little trade reminder, letting me know where price is near, what to look at. Okay, here we go, top of the hour. Let's see what happens. See if we get a cover, because we haven't had a cover on M30. This bar wasn't covered. That's 2, 3. This bar was covered, 4. So looks like we need to get a bar to an M30 bar to get covered here again, meaning that the range of the current bar is the low is below the bottom of the candle and the high is above the top. That's what I mean by a cover. And looking at the frequency distribution here, once again, we're at 2.9, 3.0, 50-50 chance that it's going to be greater. So you can see here we've already moved up 3 pips from the open, so it was probably about 14. So chances based on statistics, the chances of this closing above 3 are only about 1 out of 3 times. So you look for it to move back towards it, and you can take your pips, especially if you're going against the grain. You're going against all these candle colors here. So we're trying to push up now, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So we're talking about trading better, and I didn't get any feedback from traders yesterday. I was curious what traders thought they need to work on. So when you think about trading, we talk about the three-legged stool. Your method is one thing, but you have to have your risk management in place, and you have to have your brain management in place. And some people like to say, well, one's more important than other, but there's no point in even having that discussion. They're all important. And if you have a three-legged stool and one of the legs is too short, it doesn't stay up, it falls over. That's kind of like same thing with your trading. If one of those legs is too short, it's going to fall over. It doesn't matter which one. That's why they're all important. So you have to focus on all of them. What does focus mean? What does it look like? Well, a lot of people like to throw around the word mindful. That's one of the fad words, I guess, that you're mindful. And so what that means is when you take an action, is that you are mindful, you are paying attention, you are thinking things through, you are in the moment focused on what you're doing, kind of like a Japanese tea ceremony where each move is precise, each move is thought about, it's paid attention to. So that's what we mean by focus, because a lot of people don't really focus. There's lots of distractions. I mean, take a look around at your trading area. Are there distractions? Are there things competing for your attention? How many windows do you have open on your computer? I mean, how many tabs are sitting there? I mean, how many computers or screens do you have going? Are they all on price? Or are you looking at other things like the news? I mean, some people say, well, what kind of music do you like to listen to while you trade? Well, does that divert your attention, or is that just something in the background? Does it help you focus? Does it hinder you? So you need to take a look at each and everything around you and in front of you that might be a hindrance to your focus, to your trading. So for example, you can see there's very few horizontal lines on this particular chart, but there's a lot of information over here. So the thing is, for some of you, this might be way too much. You say, well, I can't read through it that fast. Well, maybe you don't need to read through it all. Maybe you only need to read through some of it, and you pick what you're interested in. Maybe that's too much. Maybe this is overkill. You're looking at all the different pairs, but you only trade one pair. But as we know, a rising tide floats, rises all boats. So you can see here that all the pound pairs are in the red. So that might tell you something if you're trading a pound. But then if you start to see one or two go in the green, you might be interested in taking that trade. And you can see right now we're back at the 33.33. We came down and through and back up through at 25 psychological, proven 8 8 pips to the good right now. We're looking at the Walmart chart here, or the Walmart setup here with the sweet spots gold. It punched through 33.30, hit 34. So you could have taken 3 or 4 pips off of that. Now you might have to be quick. If we switch over to the 1 minute time frame, it hit that spike, or hit that high there and then came back down. So trading better, maybe you want to have a chart even something along these lines where it tells me what price it's near, gives me some idea, tells me what the range is and what the ranges have been, and I can just focus on taking that trade when it presents itself. So we had a red H1, a red M1, but H1 was green. So maybe you want to take that trade again, maybe you don't. Right now you'd be up a pip plus. But those are things that you have to do to focus and to trade better. So fellow traders, once again, if there's some aspect of trading that you want to trade better, let me know so we can discuss it. Because when you sit down at your trading terminal, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who donated in 2022, I sent the donational indicators out yesterday. batch 2.